Well, still not much word on whether or not they were able to find Dan Manganero. But at least as far as I know, maybe something came up yesterday and, probably happened like later. But yeah, jeez. It's so, and it's very likely I'll get to this when we get to the State of My Being address in June. But it feels as if, like, between losing my grandfather last January and everything going on in the world even now, including what happened yesterday, this was just like being thrown out of the frying pan into the fire. Like, jeez. I mean, don't misunderstand me. I'm still going to do everything I can to remain positive, stay calm, don't let every bad thing get to me. But, man, this is the sort of thing where, like, you gotta put everything you have to just to maintain your sanity. Oh, dear. I think in all fairness, even though yesterday was going to be the Mom Food Chronicles video, I think I need something to lift my spirits a little bit. So, yeah, we're having a Mom Food Chronicles video today. Good morning and happy hump day, everyone. So, actually, before I begin, last night, a friend of mine, who's actually a mom herself, she actually made homemade butter, which is it's actually relatively simple to do as long as you have like a mason jar and I believe heavy cream, and you just gotta shake. Like just do that constantly, and eventually you'll get. Well, first of all, you'll get whipped cream, and then eventually, you'll get butter. And if you use I once saw if you use a stand mixer to make your butter, you're gonna do it long enough, you will get butter, but then you'll get some liquid at the bottom that's actually buttermilk. You can save that as well. So, yes, very, very versatile ingredient, I must say. And she ended up making a really nice dinner, and every item she made, it was asparagus. No, zoodles. It was zoodles. Right, you don't know. A while back they invented this one machine where you can take zucchinis or cucumbers and you run it through the sort of strainer thing, and you can make noodles out of that. And when you do that with a zucchini, you get zoodles. So that's what it's basically like vegetable spaghetti. It's basically what it is. If you want to be as blunt as possible, that's what it is, vegetable spaghetti. She actually made those, scallops, and something else. But the point is, I'm did you use your homemade butter to make any of those things? Because, that's something I was very curious to know. You have homemade butter, why not use it? But, she told me that they save it for simple bread and butter, which is nice. Bread and butter is a tried and true combination. I know that because my grandmother on my father's side says, she could live every day on bread and butter. And, not gonna lie, lots of people would. Actually, no. Still lots of people would. I was going with, unless you're dairy-free or gluten-free or both. But even then, they have, special kinds of butter and bread for those sorts of individuals. So, yeah, lots of people like that stuff. It's cool. But anyway, let's get into the mom food I was going to be talking about, because I visited my parents on a Monday, and, growing up, you're going to have several different meals throughout the week. It's possible that you don't quite finish anything. That's okay. That's what leftovers are for. Yes, one of the most classic mom foods ever, because that was about all your mom at the time had all the time to make was leftovers. So what did we have? Well, believe it or not, if you recall, over the last several days, there were lots of things that we had for leftovers, which was awesome. Well, for starters, there was a couple slices of that garlic pizza I told you about. Yeah, first time I had, so had some of that. My parents had leftover wings from that as well, so yeah, I know the wings were very crispy, but darn it, they're chicken wings, and I love chicken wings. What else was there? There was several of those mini lamb chops I told you that we had on Friday, as well as some of the mac and cheese. Which, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I really do want to get to that particular mom food, because mac and cheese does have sort of a bit of a sordid history with me. But, I love mac and cheese to death now, but let's just say it wasn't always the case. And honestly, if you really have any, any hang-ups about having mac and cheese, the best thing I can tell you to do is make it yourself. And that's what I like to do. But that's it. Mom, that where I talk about mac and cheese, talk about leftovers. I mean, yeah, again, leftovers really are the kind of food where you didn't really have much choice in there. It was just either, that or nothing, which is fine. Plus, we actually had a couple other things as well. Because here's the thing. My mother actually wanted to make a homemade pizza, but didn't you just have garlic pizza? I'm like, yeah, but dude, pizza's pizza. I love pizza. I mean, if one of the first food-related videos I talked about, which was pizza, was any indication. So, yeah, homemade pizza we were going to have, and she wanted to make hot dogs as well. Didn't really have time for pizza, but, had hot dogs. Hot dogs and the steamed green beans. So, yeah, made sure we got our vegetables in, too. I like green beans. Although that wasn't always... That's another mom food I should really do one day, just green beans. So, green beans and mac and cheese, definitely two Mom Food Chronicles videos I have to do in the future at some point. So, I look forward to that. Let's see. Well, as you can imagine, if I liked it the first time, what would stop me from liking it a second time? Because that's pretty much what leftovers are. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I could have had more at the time, but, what if someone else wanted it? But no, leftovers. And that's I know there's always a lot of controversy involving leftovers, oh, you shouldn't leave food, too long, even if you leave it in the fridge, which is away from the danger zone, it's still riddled with bacteria. Dude, even if it's filled with bacteria or not, we're living in a day and age where, the coronavirus is, running amok all over the world. I'm pretty sure any sort of bacteria related from leftovers, that shouldn't kill you. If anything, it'll make you stronger. Probably. I don't know. But, yeah, so there's that. And plus, I mentioned the danger. See, the danger zone is that period, that environment where that's between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Basically, the stipulation is during that, window of temperatures, bacteria grow at an alarming rate on food, making it, not good for you. That can make you sick. It's honestly sometimes how food poisoning occurs. Now, naturally, your refrigerator is designed to be under 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why food is able to exist for so long. But even then, sometimes some bacteria do form and some foods do get bad. That happens. In fact, some foods can go bad in your freezer, which is meant to be close to zero. It happens. It's sad, but that's a tried and true fact. Although, if you do ever cook anything that was in the danger zone because here's the thing, if it's going to be in the danger zone, it can't be in the danger zone for more than 2 hours. Any longer than that, you either got to cook it right away, broil it, put it on the highest possible heat, do whatever you can to get rid of all the bacteria, or sadly throw it away. Personally, I would try and go for the former if you can, because if you know what you're doing, someone on the wrong pipe for a second. If you know what you're doing, any food can be salvageable. But again, that sort of lies privy on how good you as an individual are in the kitchen, which, what can I say? All those years watching Food Network and internet-related cooking videos that would pay it off. Some cooking-related tasks still kind of daunt me a little bit. Like mixing hot liquid with anything with an egg yolk in it. That sort of gets me a little bit nervous because I really don't want to screw that up. Actually, yeah, we went from leftovers to straight up cooking, folks. I have no idea why that happened. But, yeah. At some point I wouldn't be surprised if any of you guys out there who are watching this, have had leftovers yourselves. Let me know if, you've had any of that stuff lately. I'd be interested in knowing. That's what the comment section is for. Yeah, so in a way, leftovers is just that type of mom food where you knew you were always going to have it just due to the inevitability of it. Because, it was perfectly good the night before. And as long as you're having it as soon as possible, what would stop it from being bad automatically? Some foods go bad almost right away. Like guacamole. That will go brown within 24 hours. Even if, now, you can vacuum seal it, but that's only going to prolong the inevitable by about maybe half a day, a full 24 hours. Again, some foods go bad right away after you cook them, and, that's fine. It's likely they were meant to be enjoyed right then and there, and, hopefully if you have leftovers, hopefully they weren't left over for too long. But some foods, if they're left, in the danger zone for too long, you gotta throw away. You ever see cheese plates at, a party? If that cheese plate is, been out for more than 2 hours, get rid of it. Especially if it was, outdoors during the day in the summertime. That can be bad. But, luckily we live in a day and age where people are a little bit smarter than that. And thanks to the power of the internet, information of how to avoid problems are found literally at your fingertips, at the keyboard. Yeah. So, all in all, I'm sure there were probably leftovers you were grateful to have, growing up. I'm sure you probably had leftovers at some point during this whole quarantine business. And, I'm absolutely positive that if you had leftovers but you didn't like how they were originally, maybe you found a way to sort of, dodge them up a little bit, make them better. That's always fun to try and do. So, lots of options. And then again, you really wouldn't have any options at all if you kids would just eat your vegetables the night before. Not that was ever a problem for me, but let's be honest, more often than not, most leftovers are comprised of vegetables that kids simply do not eat. So kids, eat vegetables. Okay? Grow up to be big, strong men and women. That's what you gotta do. Vegetables are good for you. And, green is, go green. Like, favorite, share, the subscribe button, follow me, social media, join me on YouTube. I'm very humble in this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy today. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. Remember, if you guys want to talk to me, to learn your always be back. Take care. Make good choices. And not gonna lie, after talking about that, I feel a little bit better. See ya.